I forgot to start doing the episode recording. Fuck! Anyway, so, yeah, I promised to do some, again, some, art, commentary today, and, not today, but, like, this weekend, and I just haven't been able to get around to it. So, you actually got someone to say it on the stream with that. Yeah, fair enough. As soon as I said it, I looked at the words and I saw what they were backwards. I was like, okay, yeah, nah, nice try. Clever, but not gonna work, right? So, yeah, since Kura was kind enough to actually put his lyrics in the captions, we are going to listen to non-Kura Nai Sai, or Whatever Will Be, Will Be. Before we go, let's see if there's anything I need to know. Okay, so the lyrics are down here too, just in case we need them. It says, not my usual tribute or meme song. This one's more sad and emotional, but hopefully uplifting. Fair enough. Well, this also did kind of just, like, spoil, I'm pretty sure these people are going to show up in the video. So, well, rip. But, like, off the bat, obviously we see Kura. He's got some banger headphones on there, right? Oh my god. And we see a lot of Warhammer paraphernalia, right? A lot of what I'm going to guess are Space Marines of some kind. I actually don't know that much about Warhammer lore. So, like, the individual factions I'm not particularly caught up on. But, yeah, so it's like him sitting at at his own desk. God damn it. Okay. Hold on. Kura says, well, hold on. Firestorm said, thankfully, ads ain't long. Oh, did y'all get hit by an ad? well, apparently, at least they're giving me ads now, right? Hopefully they can, I don't know. Hopefully, something comes about that from that, but, hold on. Yeah, body language said a lot without face. Yeah, fair enough. Kura says, it's not my best, my second vid, but solid, I'd think. Probably. Most of the work that the SCU does is pretty solid. Oh, excuse me. Captain Reed says, there's another streamer I almost got to fall for it, and she thought it was hilarious. She put in a stun seed command where you can cast stun seed at anyone in chat. Fair enough.
Shadows linger long, trials knock you down, waves of stress come crashing, try to pull you under now.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so there's a shoulder injury in here, I guess.
Back stack like mountains, hiding every ray of sun, but deep inside you're burning. The quiet war's not done when your heart grows heavy and the tears begin.
I'm gonna have to ask Kura, how much of this is actually based on something that actually happened? Because I know that was like one of the things that was in Brewer's video, where it's like a substantial portion of like his video was actually inspired by things that actually happened in his real life, right? And I do know you've told me that like you've had injuries in the past, and this is an injury that people sometimes go through. Like right is like a rotary cuff tear, So I don't know if that's what's going on here, and I don't think it is, but so it's like, yeah, we saw earlier here, the conversation is again, I fucked up, I'm so stupid, I hate this. So it's like a friend, non-Kura Nai Sai, whatever will be. So it's like, again, it's not really a defeatism thing, it's more of a, well, we can't change it now, we just have to move on through it, right? And here we get where the doctor, who's just showing the shoulder injury, says you'll never be able to regain use of your in your left arm. Which actually, hold on, let's go back to this. Is this an actual photo? Okay, so so these some of these are factual. All of it? Okay. I'm gonna take it that the right here, the X-ray is a real X-ray. Interesting. Okay, well, knowing that, let's move on.
The quiet war's not done when your heart grows heavy and and the tears begin to fall. A gentle whisper rides the wind and softly starts to call.
Well, I guess the doctor was wrong about that, right? You did get to regain use of your arm. Hold on, I have to ask a question about the effect, right? Because if we go over here, there's this little bit of a instability in the visual image.
When your heart grows heavy and the tears begin to
Like, is that actually? Did you do this on purpose? Because I know sometimes the visual instability actually is on purpose. And there's a couple of reasons why I have to ask, because it's like, when you receive substantially bad news, I've had to receive substantially bad news, not about my own health myself, but about the health and, well-being of other people in life. Sometimes it can feel as if it's not real, and then, things kind of bleed in together in the result of it, right? So I was wondering if, like, that fuzziness in this is, like, on purpose, or if this was just, like, the Grok Gorkin thing. Yeah, like right there, where it's like the motion blur. Because it doesn't exist here, but it did exist there. It didn't exist anywhere else but there, which is why I have to ask if that was like an intentional thing. Because you can also see it if you look at the background details. With the medical equipment and the doctor, you see exactly that too. Yeah, because again, like that's not here. So, let's see. Proved it wrong. Lol, I'm stubborn. Yes, on purpose. Okay. No, I thought so. It was like one of those things where, like, hold on, something's wonky here, right? This seems like a decision, not like a Grok Gorkin. Captain Rudy says, just so you know, there's like 60-second delay from when chat gets entered to when it pops up for you. I actually think it's the other way around. I do think it's actually the other way around. I get it, and then like there's a delay on your end, because I think that's how I have it set up. I don't know how to undo the delay. I will figure it out eventually, but for right now, we do have a delay in the chat. So I'm gonna take it this is like physical therapy, or is this
Don't give up, don't surrender through the pain and through the fight. Tomorrow's waiting gently on the other side of.
Okay, so Kura said meant to signify it was a memory but couldn't replicate it. I mean, that's fair. It did come off as, like, again, visually distinct from everything else, so it does fulfill that function of, like, demarcating it as ontologically different than, like, the present moment.
Night.
Is that supposed to be the source of your inspiration here? Right? Because I know love can be a hell of a motivator, right? Let's see, Mary nan kura nasai. It might sound like gibberish, but to my family it means whatever will be, will be. Kura ha, like the nickname you gave me. That's why I gave it to you, silly. Even if I died, don't you dare forget it. Nan kura nasai. Promise me. Wouldn't dream of it, Mary. I promise. Alright. We're getting into definitely some feelsy territory, if we weren't already there. Yeah, so that was foreshadowed pretty heavily. Gone but not forgotten, 1991 to 2011. Damn, she's actually just like 1 year younger than me.
Trials carve your spirit, stress reveals the strength you hide. Every stumble teaches, turns the darkness into light. Glitches in the system, but your soul will still realign.
So yeah, this is also not. I'm gonna do a lyric analysis in the second pass, like I usually do. But yeah, this is. Yeah, I had an older family member. I was younger when it happened, right? But I had an older family member who was suffering from, I think it was Alzheimer's, not dementia. But yeah, dementia is a difficult bastard to deal with, right? It's we all know it's wildly crippling, but yeah. Outside of the fact that like it's also it's genetic, it has a genetic basis, right? Dementia and Alzheimer's, but it fucks with your capacity to really orient yourself in time, which means that you can't really place yourself in the here or the now. You're always bouncing around between different parts of your life with no real way to form a sense of like coherent, stable self, right? So it's not exactly. There's a lot to. It's fucked up, right? We do seem to be making breakthroughs in understanding how dementia and Alzheimer's work. There seems to be a zinc deficiency involved in some of its stuff. So hopefully speaking, in the future, we will eventually have a way to actually, deal with dementia and Alzheimer's other than just, mask the symptoms. But yeah, by the time dementia or Alzheimer's actually start showing physical symptoms, the brain has already usually deteriorated to a point where there's already significant damage to the brain, right? This is actually one of the things that makes dementia really nightmarish, is by the time that it happens, it has likely already been happening for quite a while. Oh, damn. Fair enough. I said, Papa, who are you again? It's me, Pops, your grandson, Kura. Papa, who are you? I don't think we've met before, have we? Yeah. Remember a family member, because I had a family member who was killed by friendly fire, I think it was in the Iraq invasion. Really, really bad situation. Like, really, really fucked up situation. Killed by friendly fire. But that particular family member that had autism, right? Again, they can't orient themselves in time, right? So they find themselves being like 5 years old, or 18 years old, or 20 years old, or they get fixated on a particular topic that they ramble on and on and on about over time, right? And they can't really orient themselves in the here and now. And I remember a family member telling me a story about that particular individual. And, she was asking for that particular family member. And then they had to tell him, it was like, he died like 5 years before that. And, they had to relive, losing that, family member. By the way, I think it was like one of their grandkids. I don't remember the exact relation. I have a large extended family. So it's hard to keep track of everyone, being Hispanic and all, right? we tend to sometimes have large families. But so she had to go through reliving, learning that, one of her descendants had died, all over again. So again, it's a fucked up, condition. It's bad. It's terrible. Let's see. Hold on. There seems to be some movement in the chat. Let's see. Captain Rudy, consoling, giving his condolences to Kura. Captain Rudy asks what happened. Justus 40. Yeah, I'm not going to ask what per se happened, because I'm very careful about not asking for like potentially doxing information, and it gets a little bit close to that in the thing. But Justice 40. Oh shoot, did I jump into something sad? Yeah, you jumped into a bit of a sad time, right? Kura said she was hit by a train on a set of tracks that was decommissioned. What the fuck? Why was there a train on decommissioned tracks? Oh my god. Okay. What? Justice 40. My wife's grandfather had dementia the last year of his life. It was a pretty hard time. Yeah. Because you can't really take care of yourself, right? You need to be constantly taken care of. And the thing is like, you can't really understand what other people are doing for you either, right? So you can't really reason the situation you're in when you have dementia, because again, the very organ of your reasoning is the thing that's currently degrading. Let's see. Yasuo says he kept thinking I was one of his kids. Yeah, it's especially if you look like one of his kids. That's yeah, I can see that happening.
Breathing slow, let go. Your heart is listening.
Okay, so Papa, well, since you're here, want to talk about Jesus? Nan Kura Nai Sai, Papa. What do you say? Couldn't hear you, Kura. It's nothing, Pops. Let's talk about Jesus.
Your story's not yet told. Close your eyes and feel it. The warmth that's turning the cold to gold.
That was a pretty nifty little animation. Hold on.
Turning the
Hold on. Did that say Quangos on there?
Close your eyes and feel it.
Did that say Quangos go home?
The warmth that's turning the
Yeah, it does. It does say Quangos go home.
Nankura Naisai.
I can definitely confirm this part, like from personal experience. Just the advent of AI content creation has actually just like made things more fun, right? So I can definitely get by this. Not just like making things with AI, but also like seeing what other people are making with the AI, especially when it's things no one else would even bother making, because no one would really cooperate with you otherwise. Otherwise, so you have to turn to an AI to make it. So yeah, it has been definitely rewarding to be in these communities and like see what people are actually doing with this stuff. Especially considering that a lot of these people, it's like, oh yeah, the internet has become fun again, right?
Whatever will be. Don't give up, my dear one, through the setbacks and the strife. Embrace the broken pieces, they're the map to your new life. Nankura.
Yeah, Keen, fucking Mango, and Nalith. Never gonna beat the eating allegations, right? Never gonna be. Legend has it. Anytime you're talking to Nylath, they are in that moment eating, right? Is there any specific meaning behind the food that was picked in there? Hold on, let's go back and see what we have here. Because we seem to have a chicken or a turkey, which, by the way, oh my god, I love poultry meat. We have like bread, what looks to be some spuds, like French fries. Let me move these. There's a little bit of fruit in there. I can't really tell what kind of fruit it is. Life has many doors, fed boy, right?
Whatever will be, it's gonna be just fine.
So I gotta ask, so does the hallway represent, like, because everyone is in a different room in the hallway, right? Does the hallway represent like the ability to like meet people that are disconnected from you in a physical sense, right? Because I have a sneaking suspicion. No, I just wanted to keep egging them on to eat more. Right, fair enough, right? What's funny is I actually am myself eating in a number of these streams. It's just you don't hear me eat in a lot of these streams. But I'm not eating right now. But like in some of these streams, I actually am eating. Yeah, so I have to ask about the hallway thing too, right? Because I noticed that like in the hallway, we see like again, person disconnected by time, not necessarily space, right? We see someone again disconnected by space, but not necessarily time. And if this hallway is connected to the hospital, possibly. Okay, well, we don't get an answer to that, at least in the video itself. So I have to ask if like the hallway is like a network kind of deal. Life has many doors, Fed boy, right? Oh my God, Rolf has so many good quotes. But yes, I'm wondering if it's like a spatial disconnection, like the interconnected through separation and separated at the same time kind of deal. I don't know who specifically this is, but again, expressing unexpressed emotions, I'm going to take it, or at least that's what I expect. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm a fucking idiot. Is this supposed to be you, Kura? Okay, if that's supposed to be you, I'm an idiot. Well, that's JJ, I think, right? If there was one person I didn't expect to see in this video, it was definitely JJ. That one caught me off guard. Ending got scuffed, but yeah, meaning was memory, castle, aspects, manifestations of a past. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Okay, so that was the visual, that was my visual analysis. It's not really, like, it's definitely to the point, right? There's not a lot of extraneous detail that's unnecessary in here. Like everything serves its function in exactly the way that it's supposed to serve the function, right? So, which it has its advantage, right? It's again direct and straight to the point. Yeah, okay, it is you. Okay, fair enough. I was like, hold on. Okay, that's entirely fair. I don't know if I'm gonna get copyright struck for the next video I'm gonna put on, but this has me this makes me want to put on a video after this that might be a little bit heavy for some people. So let's go on to the lyric analysis, right? Because I always do that. I always do the visual analysis first, and then the lyric analysis. And again, thank you for the love of God for putting the captions in there, because holy crap, yeah, that one got me in the feels too, man. That one got me in the feels too. It's not easy to lose people. That's for damn sure. And depending on how you lose people, also like affects the situation, right? I remember okay, so I'm gonna continue reacting to this, but I'm also gonna point this out, right? Hold on. Oh, well, that's not what. Why am I opening the picture instead of the channel, right? So, I myself have a bit of a video which is not directly tied to any specific person, but it was informed by personal experience. You know, Fighting Ghosts is a song I made on a tangentially similar topic. And, you know, considering you can look at the title, Fighting Ghosts, I think you can see that, like, and you can also look at the image, right? I generated the image using the lyrics of the song. I think you can see that, like, I was doing something tangentially different, you know, significantly different than what Kura is doing, right? It's still a hopeful song, but a lot more, let's say bitter, right? Because my experience with, hold on, YW, I'll try and do it for, you know, yeah, fair enough, right? Oh, you're welcome. That's what YW means. But yeah, so like here, this is a very hopeful story, obviously, and this is also a hopeful story, but there's a lot more bitterness in this one, because My experience with loss is a lot more tinged with bitterness than some other ones, because at least in your story, it doesn't seem like, I don't know if it's the case, right? But it doesn't seem as if it's actually the fault of anyone who was lost that they were lost, right? In my case, some of them are actually their own fault, and that definitely does change the texture of the experience.
Shadows linger long, trials knock you down, waves of stress come crashing, trying to pull you under now. Setbacks stack like mountains, hiding every ray of sun, but deep inside you're burning, the quiet war's not done.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that's the first lyric, right? So, okay, yeah, the first verse right there, right, right on the fucking dot. So shatters. God damn it. Shadows linger long, right? So the shadow is like the impression of a thing, but not the thing itself, right? What is left behind. So the shadows linger along even after the thing itself, that is casting the shadow, is gone. Trials knock you down is just like a description of life, right? Shit happens. So it sets up the moral lesson to be learned, which is it's not about whether you're knocked down, it's about whether you choose to stay down, right? Waves of stress come crashing, trying to pull you under now, and again, get caught in the undertow. The waves of stress. Now, technically, there's actually two different kinds of stress, right? Very obviously, Kura's talking about distress. So this is the thing you learn in biology. There's actually two different words for stress. There's a beneficial stress you actually need to survive, and it's called eustress, or literally good stress. It's why, for example, if you help a baby turtle get to the ocean, it very well might die. Or if you try to help a chick come out of its egg, it might die, right? It's because there needs to be some degree of stress, some degree of strain, of struggle that a living organism needs in order to, survive. Distress is the exact opposite. That's stress that is actually harmful to the organism. So that's what we mean here, obviously. Waves of stress come crashing down, try to pull you under now, because again, they're not building you up. It's actively trying to pull you into the undertow. Setbacks stack like mountains. Hiding every ray of sun, because again, it's like the mountain is like the apparently insurmountable, right? The thing that has to be climbed, like the story of Sisyphus falling, pushing the rock over the boulder, only for the boulder to fall down, so he has to push the rock up there in the first place. It's already a challenge to climb the mountain in the first place, right? Let alone with setback upon setback, trying to, like in the story of Sisyphus, trying to send you all the way back down to the ground to start again, right? And again, this is the whole thing. The setbacks stack like mountains connects to the trials knock you down and try to pull you under now. Let's see. Hiding every ray of sun. Again, like this is the dark night of the soul, right? This is the moment when, again, like the experience of like, I keep calling out to God, but he doesn't answer back kind of detail, right? Everyone goes through the dark night of the soul. Not everyone has a bright night of the soul, but everyone has a dark night of the soul. But you got to keep trucking on through the night just as you do today, right? Time waits for no one. But deep inside, you're burning. The quiet war is not done. Again, it's like the whole Stoic concept. It's not even really a Stoic concept. It gets falsely attributed to the Stoics, but it's more of just like the historical, issue of like, again, it's like everyone has that conflict on the inside that they don't necessarily let everyone be privy to, for the very obvious reason that like not everyone needs to be privy to everything you're going through, even sometimes the severe shit, right? There are severe things that I've had to go through that I'm probably never going to talk about, not because of any kind of dishonesty, but just for the fact that like it's not, first of all, not really anyone's business, but in the second time, it's like it wouldn't really help anyone, right? It's like I've had times in other videos where people are talking about their own personal experiences with things like this. And it's like, well, I mean, I could elaborate on like shared experience, but there's not really any kind of point to doing that, because it's like, there's not really a way to do it without it sounding like trauma dumping. And it's like, well, you know, if I'm trying to understand someone else, it's not necessary to burden them with like what's going on, what's happened to me. So it's like, right. Kura said, I would also like to preface, I wrote these lyrics a year after she died. Okay, so this is actually a decently... So this song's been around since 2012, then, if I am doing the math correct, because it said 2011 in the gravestone marker, if I am recalling correctly. So these are lyrics that you've been sitting on for a while, eh? Understandable, right?
When your heart grows heavy and the tears begin to fall, a gentle whisper rides the wind and softly starts to call.
So let's go here, because again, this was set as pre-chorus. So this is set up, I mean, obviously it's the pre-chorus, right? So it's setting up for the chorus. When your heart grows heavy and the tears begin to fall, a gentle whisper rides the wind and softly starts to call. So, I mean, obviously, right? Like we're talking. I don't exactly have to explain this first line, right? I think we all have common sense. I think we can all like do a little bit of exegesis on their own without me having to treat the people in the without me having to insult the intelligence of the people listening, right? But a gentle whisper rides the wind and softly starts to call. It's an interesting line, right? I'm curious, Kura, if there's any kind of like religious undertone, particularly in this, right? Because I am aware that like the Holy Spirit is analogized, for example, as the wind, and you know, because let's be fair, Ruach HaKodesh in Hebrew, Ruach can mean breath, you know, and it can be associated with the wind because it's like literally again the movement of the air. So it's like so Ruach HaKodesh means literally the holy breath as well as like the Holy Spirit, because Ruach can mean both. And you see the same thing with like Spiritu Sanctu, right? Spiritu itself is also related to the etymologically related to the word breath as well. So Captain hold on, let's see. Captain Rudy says, to be honest, I can understand not publishing this song right away. Yeah, fair enough, right? And to be fair, it's like not everyone who makes lyrics to songs or like makes art to express grief ever publishes it, because again, it's not really meant to like it's meant to like as a mode of catharsis, right? So it's not necessary to share it with everyone unless the person themselves decides to do so. I definitely wrote poetry for some people that I will never release, because its function was to express emotion, and also I by design deleted it actually not that long after I wrote it, so I was was never intended to be released, so why the fuck would I keep it, right? But anyway, so I'm wondering if the gentle whisper rides the wind and softly starts to call, because again, it's not that hard to it's not that hard to figure out what your again, like you see the cross on your neck right there, not that hard to figure out what your metaphysical disposition is. So I'm wondering if this is like possibly the Holy Spirit, the comfort, the comforter for those who mourn kind of deal, right? I don't know. That would be my inference, but I'm not entirely sure. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, right? So.
Starts to call. Kura, nice side. Whatever will be, will be. Don't give up, don't surrender through the pain and through the fight. Tomorrow's waiting gently on the other side of night.
Okay, yeah, definitely, hold on. Little of both, more like a memory telling me to get back on the horse, if you will. I mean, fair enough, right? So I think you can see why I would like that would be one of the things that would pop in my brain for this particular line. But like again, that's why I have the actual artist in chat right now, so I might as well fucking ask, right? Yeah, I can see why this again definitely was chosen in this particular segment, right? So, as we already said, non Kura nai sai, whatever will be, right? It's not an expression of defeatism as much as it is a realistic understanding that what has happened, and there are some things you cannot avoid. And so instead of raging against that which you can't change, you work within what you can change, kind of deal. Or at least, again, that's what I have as understanding this. Whatever will be. Again, we just talked about this. Memory of her, I should say. Fair enough. So I mean, yeah. We all carry people's ghosts, after they depart. So I mean, it's fitting. Let's see. Got to take a breath for a moment. Let's see. Don't give up, don't surrender through the pain and through the fight. Oh, this takes me back. Holy fuck. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It fucking sucks, my guy. Right? Oh. Not the song, but the experience, right? Oh my god. It sucks to get hurt. It fucking sucks to lose people. But you gotta, you can't stop when these things happen. You gotta continue on, right? Especially if you're the one holding everything together. Let's see. Tomorrow's waiting gently on the other side of night, and yeah, we saw, tomorrow's waiting on the other side, gently on the other side of night, right here. And then again, whatever will be. About as subtle as a brick to the head, is a hammer to the face. But to be fair, subtlety is for cowards sometimes, right? Sometimes you just gotta say it. Okay. You got me in the feels with this one, man. What is this, Digimon? Right? Come on, Fire Cabot. But yeah, right. I mean, if the good book is true, then yes, no one ever truly dies, right? God damn it, Captain Rudy. Hold on, let me. I'll find it for after the video, but I kind of wanted to send this to Lady Wasabi, but it was I don't really have a opportunity to send that to Lady Wasabi because she lost someone pretty important to her too, but we all do at some point. Now I'm gonna have to ask Kura. You don't have to answer if this is either too close to the chest or you just don't want to or any of that. But this conversation definitely piques a bit of a flag to me, right? So let's reread this, right? Let's see. That's why I gave it to you, silly. Even if I die, don't you dare forget it. Non Kura nai sai, promise me. You said that this is mostly based on things that happened in the real life, right? So I am curious if there's any deeper meaning to potentially this line right here. Even if I die, don't you dare forget it. Is that one of those conversations you play in your mind after the fact, or is this an actual conversation you had with her? Genuine question, because obviously I don't fucking know, right? And this would definitely heavily influence how I interpret this entire situation, to be perfectly honest. But
trials carve your spirit, stress reveals the strength you hide. Every stumble teaches, turns the darkness into light. glitches in the system, but your soul will still realign. Keep
Okay, yeah. Interesting that this part is on glitches in the system. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, you're hitting us pretty fucking hard with this one, Kura.
walking through the static, you're writing every line.
Alright, let's go to let's go to the verse 2. Damn. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Again, like, I'm trying not to cry, right? Obviously, but like what I was getting at, I mean that's that's pretty fucking heavy emotional too, right? What I was getting at, and again, you can feel free to not answer, but I was getting at whether or not whether or not the cross. Well, it had to have been an accident because like it was decommissioned. So there would be no expectation for the train to be on the crossroad, on the tracks, right? I don't know. Maybe it's my own personal experience tinging my tinging my brain on this particular issue. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it because again, that wouldn't track well. Like, what went through my head wouldn't exactly track with again the tracks being decommissioned. Anyway, back to the song, right? So, trials carve your spirit. Stress reveals the strength you hide. Again, the whole use stress thing right here. You need a certain degree of stress in order to build up the body. To better conform to life, right? Stress reveals the strength you hide, right? Again, it's like you learn more about yourself in the hard times than you do in the peaceful times, right? You get to learn that you're stronger, faster. You might be more clever than you, might have thought before. Let me see. Every stumble teaches, turns the darkness into light. Yeah, this is effectively the, what would you call it? Not theodicy, but this is like part of the theodicy in the Christian worldview, right? Is that God allows evil to happen because out of evil can come goods that are better than, right? Can come goods that are better than the evil that actually generated them, right? It's not that the evil justifies the good, but rather that good can use evil in order to create more good. And there's all kinds of examples you can use to do this, right? Again, it's like the family comes together more, closer, and the loss of a loved one doesn't always happen. Sometimes happens, right? Or, for example, a child conceived, in unfortunate circumstances, can become the light of their mother's life, right? It's actually not that hard if you've ever worked with people who've done pro-life. If you've ever worked with or dealt with people who've done pro-life work, a lot of the women who worked in there, some of these people, their children were conceived in very unfortunate circumstances, but they absolutely adore their children, and they wouldn't have changed anything about how that happened because they would prefer the good of having that children over the good of that unfortunate circumstance have never happened in the first place, right? So yeah, every stumble teaches, turns the darkness into light. So it's an act of alchemy, right? Turning lead into gold. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I kind of figured. I worked through that in my head, because like that, just the way that was set up for a moment, it was like, oh, was this intentional? And then it's like, oh wait, no, but the tracks were decommissioned, so if it was intentional, that wouldn't make any sense because you would go somewhere else that you would expect the train to be. Yeah. That's fucking rough, buddy, right? It's like glitches in the system, which is again where we saw the pawpaw with the dementia, but your soul will still realign. Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially if like you have a Christian worldview and you expect there to be life after death, right? Then yeah, your soul is expected to realign after, after you die, right? And your cognition is no longer subject to the limitations of your brain. But there's also I don't know if you experience this, but have you ever heard of terminal lucidity? That's a thing that happens more often than people think, where a patient who has suffered from dementia or Alzheimer's has a period of lucidity very shortly before they die, right? Where it's like, again, the person may have suffered years and years and years of just cognitive decline, and then all of a sudden, maybe a couple of hours before they die, maybe a couple days before they die, right? They actually just return to normal, right? It's like all of a sudden you can have a conversation with this person. This person remembers what you did for them while they had dementia or Alzheimer's, right? They actually can hold conversations about time having passed. They can remember things that happened 10 minutes ago, right? They can actually form a mental map of what might happen a couple minutes into the future, just like the rest of us can, right? We can actually think about what's going to happen based on things around us. And it's just like they've come back. And then a couple days later, sometimes a couple hours later, they die. Sometimes they slip back into the dementia, but usually when you see that like regain of lucidity, it's So I don't know if that's what I don't know if that's like what's being alluded to here, but this does kind of remind me of that terminal lucidity. I don't know if that's what happened, but I've heard it happen enough that like it is a thought that crossed my mind. Okay. Let's read this. Kura says, I wasn't told everything. Her father didn't tell me much, only grim details, and that she was stuck in the track, so she seemingly tried to flee. Well, yeah, that happens. Let's see. Captain Rudy says, I'm curious as to the manner in which they were decommissioned, like were the tracks completely decommissioned and we're not supposed to have trains at all, or was it just crossing that was closed off to vehicle traffic? You don't have to answer, just... Okay, yeah, fair enough. Captain Rudy says, yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty bad way to go. Keep walking through the static. You're rewriting every line. Again, this is again, affirmation of free will, right? Like you are author of your own life, right? Or at least co-author, right? With the divine power, which is the Christian view, is that man is co-creator of the world around him through participation in the divine nature. Let's see. Keep walking through the static. Again, it's like the whole static and numbness is like obviously analogous to each other, right? You're like in the static, you don't really see anything. In the numb feeling, you don't really feel anything. So it's like you can also feel like the pins and the needles and like alternating. If you pay close attention when you're numb, right, you can feel like the pins and the needles like alternate throughout your body, like almost like a static. So it's like there's a reason why we use the static imagery. But yeah, you can't exactly stop. You do have to muscle through it, right? You have to keep walking through the static. Let's see. Pops has pockets of time during the day when he's fine, and he can always quote scripture, though he gets names wrong. Yeah, that's also very common, especially for like people who are more devout in their life. Is sometimes when they become demented or have Alzheimer's, they like just rattle off and off and off and off scripture verses. Let's see.
Your eyes and feel it, the warmth that's turning the cold to gold.
I do like that beat. I don't know what instrument that is, but I do like the beat, right? Just even outside of like even outside of the feels, right? The song is still just a good song. I hate the feeling of pins and needles. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. Let's see. Okay, here we are. So breathe in slow, right? Like basically ground yourself, get like control of yourself. It turns out controlling your breathing is a really good skill to, again, finding stability during highly stressful situations, right? It's actually like breathing control is really important, again, for like your mental health and clarity. Like, let it go. Again, don't hold on to the shit that's like not actually important, right? Don't hold, you actually do have to allow yourself to let people go instead of just like holding on to the, because it's like, to an extent especially, right? I guess I'll talk about this in the next video, because this does remind me of a video from quite a while. Synthwave. Okay, fair enough, right? I'll talk about this in the next video, right? Because I have a lot to say about the let go thing, because I'm about to, this is already fucking people up. I am about to fuck people up as well right after this. So the the roller coaster is not over when the song is over. We are going to do a little bit more. Let's see. Your heart is listening. Your story is not yet told, again, because you're either a author or co-author of your life. If we live in a world where the objectivists are true, then you are the sole author of your life. But if we live in a world where, again, the Christians are correct, then, again, your story isn't yet told because you are co-author to the story. So it's not just God writing the story. God is writing the story with you as the co-author. Let's see. Spartan bot. God, YouTube needs to fix this damn notifications. I'm almost 2 hours late, lol. That's entirely fair, right? Yeah. I'm never notified of anything either, to be perfectly honest. So, and your heart is listening. Yeah, right. Both what you do and what you say affect your character, right? So this is one of the main observations of virtue ethics that seems to be lost on deontology and consequentialist ethics, right? Is that it doesn't really matter. Like, the consequences and the abstract rules are kind of just not important to, like, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world if he loses his soul, right? It seems very fucking obvious, right? But I've already decimated half of my box of tissues. That's fair, right? I mean, I can definitely see how this would absolutely make most people cry. I feel for you, man. I feel for you, but I can't exactly use the tissue boxes. I haven't cried in years, but for similar reasons as this. Let's see. Close your eyes and feel it. Yeah, again, just the warmth that's turning cold to gold. Again, we're talking about a kind of alchemy, right? We're turning, in a sense, pain into growth. We're turning, the darkness into the light. We're actually making something out of nothing. And actually, this is a really good example of something out of nothing, because cold isn't a thing, right? Cold is simply the absence of heat, much as darkness is the absence of light. So here we have a literal example of what would effectively be some kind of like creatio ex nihilo, right? We're taking loss and we're making something substantial and good out of, the loss. So, which is the ultimate challenge of the survivor, is to turn, that which is lost into something, great that, anyway. I'm prattling on at this point, right? This is a really good song, by the way.
Kura, whatever will be. Don't give up, my dear one, through the setbacks and the strife. Embrace the broken pieces, they're the map to your new life. Kura, nice.
Well, I haven't cried in years. You got closer than a lot of people have gotten. I'm not gonna lie, Kura. That fucking hurt, right? But let's get on to the final chorus and then the outro and see if we can, like, see what we have working here, right? We have, again, the mantra here, nan kura naisai, whatever will be, will be. Don't give up, my dear one, through the setbacks and the strife. Again, it's like you have to keep. So again, embrace the broken pieces. They're the map to your new life. Again, the embrace the broken pieces is it has a very kintsugi aesthetic to it, right? The idea that like it is the breaks when gilded over with gold that end up making a thing more beautiful than it was originally, right? Let's see, the map to your new life. Again, it's like the things that happen to you, they teach you more about how to navigate life. So in a sense, like the past becomes a map to the future, or at least part of the key to reading the map to the future, right? Let's see, don't give up, my dear one. Through the setbacks and strife. I'm trying to come up with commentary that's not going to insult the intelligence of the people that are listening, to be perfectly honest. Because I think that this is, again, about as subtle as a hammer to the face. It's very clear. I can't, again, think about how I can expand upon this without, again, insulting people's intelligence. Let's see. Like, whatever will be, it's going to be just fine. And then the translation of the first line of the outro, nan kura naisai. So the whole idea that it's like, it's going to be just fine. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't like whether it be a spouse or like even a child. Sometimes, right? I've met people who've lost. Yeah, and I've met people who've lost a lot, and speaking from some experience with loss, right? You can survive, and what if you survive? If you actually choose to continue to live, right? If you actually make the choice, you can find your happiness again. You can find your eudaimonia, the goodness of spirits, right? Because it turns out that is your happiness and the content of your soul is actually not is not actually related to the people around you. It's actually related to you and how you carry yourself and how you live your life, right? That doesn't mean the people around you aren't important. In fact, they are very important. But rather what it means is that, again, your life isn't justified by the people around you. Your life is still worth living even though you experience loss. And you will find your happiness on the other side of, loss. So, or at least that's what I get from this, right? I don't know, again, whether Kura, intended that interpretation or not, I don't know. But that's what I got out of it, right? So, yeah, and the hold on, where's the one with tomorrow? Because I'm pretty sure I saw something about the other side of tomorrow. Son of a gun, did I miss the chorus? I missed the chorus. I'm retarded. No, wait, no, I didn't. I did comment on this. The gently waiting on the other side of night. Yeah, okay, I actually did comment on this. But yeah, so this is like one of the key linchpins in the thing, is the idea like tomorrow's waiting on the other side of night. It's like there is more, like, again, on the other side of loss, there is still good things waiting. There are things worth, it's still worth being on the other side, right? And there's also the implicit promise that, like, again, on the other side of eternity, right, you have the tomorrow that never ends on the other side of eternity as well, right? But both tomorrows, the tomorrow of the temporal and the tomorrow of eternity, both matter, right? Let's see. Non-Kuro Naisai is a earworm that won't leave for a while, right? Yeah, it is a good song. So Captain Rudy says, I just went down a rabbit hole. Hearing about Mary reminded me of other train accidents I'd heard about the years. and made me curious about how common train accidents are, and they are frighteningly common. In 2011 alone, there were 2,061 accidents in the United States, resulting in 250 fatalities. Most infinite stories, infamous, not infinite, involved 3 teenage girls who were struck by a train while taking selfies, didn't hear the train horn. Oh well, right. How do you not hear the train horn? If the train is blaring, that doesn't make that. There's something's off about that story. Firestorm Cabot says, "I live right next to an active train tracks." Yeah, I don't fuck with trains for this exact reason, right? I do not fuck with trains for this exact reason. Yeah, this is a beautiful song, Kura. You can definitely tell the song comes from the heart, right? This is definitely a very emotivistic piece of work, right? The purpose here is to capture the emotion, not necessarily because I went on a whole rant about different art theories, yesterday, and I would say that the one that fits this most is, again, emotivism, which isn't bad. It's just a different function of song than like what I usually do. So, again, you did really good with this, Kura. This is a very beautiful song. Definitely is gonna fuck people up. I'm not gonna lie, right? This is definitely gonna fucking tear people's hearts out. But to be fair, I think that that's actually a bit of a feature, not a bug, in this kind of thing, eh? Oh, whew. Alright, so that'll definitely be the end of the non-Kura Naisai episode. I can't really extrapolate more out of this, again, without insulting the intelligence of the author or the audience, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes a thing sets out to do exactly what it does, and like everyone can see what exactly it is it's trying to do, right? Yeah. Again, I think this is really good. So if you're watching on YouTube, please show Kura some love. But and I'll see you in the next episode. But yeah, again, this was lovely.